Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Chapter 6. Encountered a crisis. Need to add money. From a certain call on the outskirts of the silent mountain, the roar of strange beasts and the movement caused by the battle could be heard from time to time. There is a team of 4 professionals who are currently fighting with the giant bear that looks like a hill in the call. But the current situation is definitely not good. Zhang Wanqing, who assumes the lead of the team, is leaning on the tree trunk at this time. The coldness on his face no longer existed, instead there was a lingering solemnity, after drinking the last few bottles of recovery potion. Ready to join the fight again. And the rest of the team was dealing with the giant mountain bear, and most of them were wounded, very embarrassed. After all, what they encountered was not an ordinary elite beast, but the boss of the current small area. Mountain bear. Except for shit luck, they met the boss of the area, which was impossible to encounter in this silent mountain. If it weren't for the equipment provided by the family, ordinary professionals would have no way to resist when encountering a mountain bear. Can only wait to die. Broken ice ling. After recovering a little bit of strength, Zhang Wanqing picked up the staff again, accompanied by blue light continuously emerging. The magic circle that appeared in the suspension instantly shot out countless thumb-sized icicles, shooting towards the giant mountain bear. The scale is indeed huge. But it didn't cause much damage to the giant mountain bear, it could only delay the opponent's actions slightly. The remaining 3 professionals in the team finally got some time to breathe, and when they were treated with a few potions, the brawl arose as expected. Wang Wei, it's all your fault. You chose a good path, and sent it directly to the giant mountain bear, right? And Wang Wei, who is a spearman by profession, also has an extremely ugly face, who knew there was an area boss here. Is it that difficult to find an auxiliary profession to form a team? If there are priests, knights, etc., I can definitely break the defense of this mountain giant bear. What are you talking about? Didn't you also urge to leave quickly? Zhang Wanqing's brows were already tightly frowned, but after hearing the quarrel of the rest of the team, his face became paler. Tendency to be physically exhausted. As an ice mage, any skill he uses will consume his stamina and his own MP extremely. The mountain giant bear itself is not an area boss that can be challenged at their stage, if there is a support job. There is still the possibility of victory. And now, the seemingly normal team fell apart almost instantly after encountering this kind of thing. Okay, stop arguing, Zhang Wanqing scolded with a cold face. She looked at the giant mountain bear that was gradually recovering in front of her, and cast ice magic again. If you want to quarrel, go back and quarrel, but you can't beat this giant mountain bear. After I come, I will prepare to evacuate here. Everyone who was still arguing about who should take the blame, stopped instantly after hearing Zhang Wanqing's words. They looked at each other, but no one answered. Only. At this moment, there was a slight sound from the forest not far away, but it was extremely ear-piercing in this silent mountain. Who? Zhang Wanqing turned her gaze to the direction of the voice, her already tense face looked extraordinarily serious. Won't. It's the strange beast that smells blood again, right? It was Lu Chengqing who walked out of the forest, carrying the sheathed seedling knife and a bag full of materials. After completing 3 days of training, all supplies were exhausted, and he was about to take a shortcut to return, but he did not expect. You can also meet classmates here. Lu Chengqing turned his gaze to the mountain depression. At this time, he still had a little impression of the cold girl holding the staff. During the awakening ceremony, Zhang Wanqing, who was transferred to an ice mage. As for the other 3 people, they were probably also students of Zhongcheng No. 1 middle school, and they teamed up with Zhang Wanqing to fight monsters. Go ahead, I'll just pass by. Lu Chengqing glanced at the other party, obviously he was fighting the giant bear, if no one was besieging this strange beast. Then solve it smoothly. But it was obvious that someone was attacking, and it would be superfluous to stay here, so I turned around decisively and prepared to leave. After seeing the other party's identity clearly, Zhang Wanqing's already dead heart once again ignited hope. Lu Chengqing's profession as a medical doctor. If he could help, even recovering his strength and healing his injuries, he could turn the situation around. She quickly shouted, "Student Lu." Lu Chengqing, who had already turned to leave, stopped briefly after hearing Zhang Wanqing's shout. He looked at the people in the mountain depression with some doubts in his eyes, and said, you know me. I noticed you when I woke up. Zhang Wanqing said hastily. Even on that cold face, there was a bit of pleading, and continued, Student Liu. Can you help our team? Quote. After hearing these words, Liu Chengqing frowned slightly, and at the same time, he looked at the giant bear whose legs were frozen. Decisively use a round of identification. Alien beast. Mountain bear regional boss. Level. Black iron level 10. Strength. 89. Agility. 51. Spirit. 45. Stamina. 21. Abilities. Bear crash, iron claws, rocks. Remarks. Bosses born randomly in the wild area will soon be depleted of stamina due to fierce battles. When Liu Chengqing finished appraising the giant mountain bear, his expression was a bit strange, and he called it a good guy. Area bosses. What the hell is level 10, all attributes, compared to those bronze level 11 strange beasts he encountered? Both are much more luxurious. Only, the giant mountain bear fought with Zhang Wanqing's team just now, and its stamina is almost exhausted, so its strength is definitely not as good as before. And, Liu Chengqing didn't think he was an enthusiastic citizen, so he shook his head in response to Zhang Wanqing's request, no. This level 10 regional boss, what's the use of finding me as a healer? After Zhang Wanqing heard Liu Chengqing's words, her face was a little anxious, in this wilderness. Being able to meet an auxiliary occupation, or an alumni of the same school, this chance can completely buy a lottery ticket. She quickly said, don't worry. I will give you a reward after finishing this giant mountain bear. Absolutely, I will never let you help in vain. 100,000 alliance coins. Quote. Liu Chengqing glanced at the team of professionals who had no combat capability, and immediately turned his attention to the giant mountain bear. He nodded slightly. Yes, but the boss in this area is very strong, you have to pay more. Chapter 7. I let you heal. I didn't let you cut the boss. After Zhang Wanqing heard Liu Chengqing's words, she was stunned for a moment. She originally thought that she would be rejected directly. After all, just thinking about the fact that the rookie professional team encircled and suppressed the boss in the area is outrageous enough. But what she didn't expect was that Liu Chengqing's answer was, the boss in this area is too strong, so you need to pay more. Although the profession of a medical doctor cannot provide buffs, it is definitely enough for recovery and treatment. Only, before waiting for Zhang Wanqing's consent, the three teammates recovering at the rear at this time, especially the spearman Wang Wei. The originally dark complexion became more and more unkind, and he resolutely accused, I think you should also be in Zhongcheng 1. We're all classmates. Isn't it normal to help each other when encountering difficulties, and, after killing the mountain giant bear, you will also be rewarded? The other two girls just looked at each other in blank dismay, didn't speak to stop them, but looked at Liu Chengqing's eyes. It shows the attitude. Seeing that Liu Chengqing ignored him, Wang Wei's expression became more and more uncertain, as long as you are willing to help our team. Maybe I can take you to brush monsters and upgrade tomorrow. Your career as a medical doctor is not very popular, right? Quote. The expression on Liu Chengqing's face did not change in the slightest, on the contrary, there was a bit of joking, moral kidnapping or something. It really is in any world. So classic. Wang Wei, shut up. Zhang Wanqing frowned, looked at Wang Wei with disgust, and didn't feel Liu Chengqing's problem. It's fine if you don't reject it outright. Even if there is a healer, she is not 100% sure that she will directly kill the boss mountain bear in this area. A little carelessness would kill someone, and Liu Chengqing could just leave without taking the slightest risk. It's reasonable to ask for some remuneration. Zhang Wanqing nodded in agreement and said, yes, Student Liu, as long as you can kill this giant mountain bear. I will give you 200,000 as a reward alone. Quote. With a faint smile on Liu Chengqing's face, he did not answer directly, but turned his gaze to Wang Wei and the three of them. The playfulness in the eyes became more and more obvious. Students help each other. He still recognizes this, but it starts with the foundation of mutual respect and reasonable price. Since this is the case now. With a smile on his face, Liu Chengqing shook his head slightly and said, 200,000 is the price just now. I just remembered that my cat hasn't been fed yet. If you have something to do, if you really want me to help, 4 people, a total of 800,000 is not too much, right? Quote. Not far away. After hearing Lu Chengqing's words, Wang Wei's expression was as if he had eaten shit. Also found a lame excuse for the family cat not to be fed. This is obviously a price increase. No, this Lu Chengqing is robbing. Just as Wang Wei was about to speak, Zhang Wanqing stared back with indifferent eyes, and went straight to the spot. Quote. Zhang Wanqing was about to cast her eyes on Lu Chengqing, and said in a serious tone, I will give you the 800,000 reward. Sorry, my classmate can't speak. Lu Chengqing shook his head lightly, with an indifferent smile on his face, and did not take the previous episode at ease. At least, these people must be able to afford the money. The school is well known as the rich second generation, and Zhang Wanqing's reputation is still there. After all, the daughter of the Zhongnan city lord. As for not giving money, this is not something that Lu Chengqing should consider. There are ways to make them spit it out. He glanced at Wang Wei and the others, and said calmly, don't worry, I'll take care of things after I've collected the money. Quote. Lu Chengqing went straight past the crowd and hit the identification technique on the mountain giant bear again, after the rest just now. Alien beast. Mountain bear regional boss. Stamina. 40. Glancing at the various attributes of the mountain giant bear, there is not much change, but the stamina is about to return to normal. Without much hesitation, Lu Chengqing unsheathed the Miao knife on anti-disaster's shoulder and returned to the normal level of the regional boss. He also wasn't sure to kill it completely. The detection of the panel data is a bit big, but the other party is in such a state, he still has a chance to hack to death. Quote. When Zhang Wanqing saw Lu Chengqing's actions, her expression had calmed down a lot, and her eyes widened instantly. There is a blank look in the eyes. Looking at his current posture, is he going to chop the boss mountain bear in that area by himself? Go crazy. Lu Chengqing's awakening. Isn't she a medical practitioner in the auxiliary profession? She still reads a lot of books. What the hell? Medics don't have any defensive means at all in the early stage. And the reason why she asked Lu Chengqing for help was also very simple, just to provide healing and physical recovery for the rest of the team. Didn't let you carry a knife to kill the boss. Not only Zhang Wanqing, but also Wang Wei behind him and the 2 accompanying girls were also dumbfounded. How do you feel? The development of the plot is a bit wrong. Shouldn't it be Lu Chengqing who provides treatment for them? Why suddenly the roles are reversed? Quote. Zhang Wanqing came to his senses. Could it be that he wanted to buy time for himself so that they could recover? Think here. Her original small opinion disappeared in an instant, and she quickly stopped her and said, Student Lu, you just need to help us treat it. You are not a combat professional. It is very dangerous to face the giant bear on the mountain. Quote. Lu Chengqing still had a calm smile on his face, glanced at Zhang Wanqing, and said helplessly, I know. However, compared to treating you and assisting in killing the mountain giant bear, I think it's better for me to shoot directly. Slightly faster than 1 billion points. After hearing these words, Zhang Wanqing twitched the corners of her mouth, not to mention the strange expression on her face, and said quickly. Really, Student Lu, just provide us with treatment. Quote. Lu Chengqing waved his hand gently, put away the sloppy smile on his face, and looked at the boss in the area where the hand was in state. This was the first Lord Beast he had encountered. I just don't know how much experience I can gain by beheading the giant mountain bear in front of me. He didn't sloppy, bowed slightly and touched the ground with his fingers lightly. White typhoon-shaped whirlpools appeared continuously. Expand. After rotating 10 times at a speed visible to the naked eye, with Lu Chengqing as the center, a translucent space envelops everyone in it. Room Slaughterhouse. Chapter 8. Why are you calling me a medical doctor? The translucent space spread extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, Zhang Wanqing and the others, as well as the mountain giant bear not far away, were taken away. Everything is covered in it. Wang Wei and the other 2 girls accompanying him were naturally not fools, after seeing Lu Chengqing's posture. Shut up wisely. This. Zhang Wanqing frowned slightly, looking at this special translucent space. Her eyes were full of surprise. In her previous impression of the auxiliary profession of a medical doctor, only after the level has been raised can she have attack skills. And now, the method Lu Chengqing showed was absolutely unheard of before, or this special skill was him. Reliance against the giant mountain bear. Zhang Wanqing held the staff in both hands, looked at the figure holding the knife in both hands, and murmured in a low voice, "Is it a slaughterhouse?" Lu Chengqing had a serious expression on his face. In his true sense, he singled out the boss in the area. Mountain bear. Just like the name of this strange beast, the giant bear randomly born in the Silent Mountain is absolutely full in terms of defense. Not only has the own skills of the melee beast, but also the special skill rock protrusion. It can be said that it is the most difficult beast that Lu Chengqing has encountered during these 3 days of training, bar none. Roar. The giant mountain bear in front of him, who had recovered his stamina, also sensed the strong killing intent on Lu Chengqing's body, accompanied by a roar. Its huge body raised its arms and slammed it fiercely towards the ground, even the ground trembled faintly. The mountain giant bear was originally fairly flat ground. A crack was formed in an instant, and it spread towards Lu Chengqing at an extremely fast speed. Not only that, an unusually sharp rock thorn grew out of the crack, trying to completely crush the human ant in front of him. Zhang Wanqing, who had regained his strength in the rear, tensed up instantly after seeing the skills displayed by the giant mountain bear. Only by fighting against each other can you know how tricky this guy is. She quickly opened her mouth to remind, "Student Lu, be careful that this is a skill displayed by the giant mountain bear." Only, as soon as Zhang Wanqing finished speaking, she was dumbfounded by Lu Chengqing's response. Holding the seedling knife in both hands, Lu Chengqing sensed the moment of crisis and decisively attacked the dead tree not far in front of him. Use the power of room slaughterhouse to exchange space. And the dead wood that switched places with him was pierced by the extremely sharp rock thorns almost instantly. Wipe. Lu Chengqing glanced at the power of the rock thorn, his eyelids twitched slightly, and without the slightest hesitation, he dragged the fine iron seedling knife. He rushed in the direction of the giant mountain bear. It is safest to deal with this beast quickly. The giant mountain bear that lost its skills let out a deafening roar and rushed towards Lu Chengqing. At a distance of about 20 meters, it did not forget to shoot the rocks that can be seen everywhere in the call to the figure ahead. Trying to cause trouble. Only, this move of the mountain giant bear gave Lu Chengqing an excellent opportunity in the room slaughterhouse. Then, possess absolute power. Without the slightest hesitation, Lu Chengqing exchanged space with the suspended boulder next to the giant mountain bear again. The figure of the whole person appeared next to the boss in this area in an instant, with the fine iron seedling knife with laser, slashing down without any effort. The defense that made Zhang Wanqing and others helpless, cut off the arm of the giant mountain bear as if cutting tofu. Not even the slightest bit of blood flowed out. The giant bear, which does not feel pain, subconsciously waved its bare paw towards Lu Chengqing, but the one who greeted it. It is the blade that cuts through everything. Lu Chengqing, who cut out the second knife, switched his figure again, and suddenly appeared behind the mountain bear like a ghost. A devastating slash directly towards the head of the boss in this area, as if there is a laser jumping blade, just like cutting tofu. Directly cut the huge body of the mountain giant bear into 2 halves, with the blessing of room slaughterhouse. It's like a hill. The huge body weighing several tons fell straight to the ground, so strange that blood did not overflow, even the expected death didn't show up. The giant mountain bear struggling on the ground was still struggling. Not only was the bear shrouded in unprecedented fear. Zhang Wanqing, Wang Wei and others who were watching the battle from behind could even feel the biting chill that swallowed them. Because the unknown ability displayed by Lu Chengqing is really weird. Although it is said that online games and reality are constantly overlapping, these strange beasts are not data-like existences. It is the real flesh and blood. After encountering a slash, the beast will also bleed, or die. But now, the scene that appeared in front of their eyes was the giant mountain bear that was about to wipe out the team, with both forearms severed. Not even the slightest blood flowed out. Even seeing the movement of the mountain giant bear falling to the ground and struggling, after being split in half, death did not come. It's over. Lu Chengqing didn't care about other people's reactions. He glanced at the area boss who had fallen to the ground and completely lost his fighting power. After closing room slaughterhouse, almost in an instant, with a large amount of blood overflowing, the fallen mountain giant bear died completely. Experience plus 1307. Level up. LV 10 207 5000. Wang Wei and the others in the rear saw the expression on their faces as if they had seen a ghost after seeing the giant mountain bear being completely killed. It's outrageous. This is a giant bear in the mountain forest. The boss of the area born in the silent mountain was killed directly. Zhang Wanqing twitched the corners of her mouth. Her expression seemed calm, but deep in her heart, there were already turbulent waves. The area boss mountain bear that almost wiped out their entire team turned out to be in front of Lu Changqing. Just like a toy, no matter how Lu Changqing slaughters him, there is no room for fighting back. Zhang Wanqing murmured softly, "Slaughterhouse. The name of this skill is indeed quite appropriate." She immediately cast her eyes on Lu Changqing. The unbelievable look in her eyes was almost materialized. If Zhang Wanqing met Lu Changqing for the first time, she would probably feel that he should be a genius who has awakened a hidden profession. But what about today? Lu Changqing's profession. But he's a healer. Who the hell is a healer who can directly swipe area bosses? Chapter 9. Black Iron Level 10, Room Baton. Lu Changqing glanced at the body of the giant mountain bear, with a slightly surprised expression on his face, which he did not expect. The experience provided by the boss in this area can directly increase his level to level 10. At the very beginning, he also plans to continue to come to the Silent Mountain to level up tomorrow, and this mountain bear who is not at his peak. It really is a free experience package. Suddenly, after being promoted to level 10, what Lu Changqing couldn't wait for the most, besides the increased attributes, was the ability of the fruit of the surgery. Just room slaughterhouse can make him invincible when facing these low-level bosses. Not to mention the power of other skills. Without much hesitation, Lu Changqing decisively presented the upgraded attribute panel in front of him. Name: Lu Changqing. Occupation: physician. Level: Black Iron Level 10 207 5000. Strength: 68. Agility: 75 plus 10. Spirit: 63 plus 5. Stamina: 80. Equipment: Spike Pendant. Professional talent: Physical recovery. Auxiliary skills: Life recovery, medical identification. Attack skills: None. Exclusive skills: Room slaughterhouse, room baton. Baton. Lu Changqing frowned slightly. He was no stranger to this ability, the basic skill of fruit. One hand releases the closed space of the hemisphere, which can control objects instantly. Moreover, the targets that can be manipulated by the baton are not limited in terms of exact mass, volume, or quantity. As long as the fruit ability is developed enough. Not to mention the corpse of the giant bear not far in front, even things that are several times larger in size can be manipulated. And room baton can be used with the slaughterhouse. As long as the reaction is fast enough, any target that comes over will be culled. Can be controlled. It can be said that the skills used together are completely magic skills for spawning monsters, even if there are giant mountain bears appearing. With the help of the room baton, the speed at which Lu Changqing killed him would only be infinitely faster than before. After Lu Changqing briefly learned about the new skills, he immediately turned his attention to the corpse of the mountain giant bear not far away. After all, it is a regional boss, so it would be a bit unjustifiable if there is nothing. Glancing in the direction of the corpse, there was no exception. On the ground soaked in blood, lay a long knife quietly. You don't even need to go there in person. The moment he stretched out his hand, a small blue translucent sphere appeared on his fingertips, accompanied by a white cyclone. Baton. Lu Changqing murmured softly, and with the subtle changes of his fingers, the long knife lying on the ground flew into the air inexplicably, floating in the direction of oneself. Only. This little move of his made Zhang Wanqing, Wang Wei and the others gasp while the corners of their eyes twitched wildly. However, Lu Changqing didn't care about other people's reactions, but used the identification technique on the long knife in his hand. Rock Breaker Blade, Bronze Rank. Strength plus 30. Dexterity plus 15. Stamina plus 20. Sharp plus 10. Special skill Rock Protrusion. Before the mountain giant bear dies, pour the last power into the blade, and there is a small probability of triggering the rock protruding effect when attacking. Lu Chengqing glanced at the broken rock blade in his hand. It seemed that the fine iron seedling knife at the beginning was no longer fragrant in an instant. It not only increases various attributes, but also has a special skill, rock protrusion. It is completely a must-have artifact for traveling at home and going out to kill people, and it can roughly increase the attribute by 40%. He held a knife in both hands and chopped lightly. Under the blessing of the power that is about to break 100, even if you wave it lightly, you can hear the sound of the blade breaking through the air. As for the ownership of this rock-breaking blade, Lu Chengqing glanced at Wang Wei and the others, and asked calmly, I killed the giant mountain bear. I want this knife, do you have any comments? Wang Wei swallowed. Facing Lu Chengqing's indifferent gaze, he felt a shudder in his heart. Hastily shook his head. If he dared to have an opinion, there was no guarantee that Lu Chengqing's next knife would land on his own neck. After recognizing the gap between the two, if he could retract what he said to Lu Chengqing just now, Wang Wei would definitely not hesitate. Even for a team of level 10 professionals, it would not be easy to kill this giant mountain bear. Not to mention, Lu Chengqing still has that unpredictable fighting ability, and Wang Wei absolutely does not believe the nonsense that his profession is a medical doctor. What the hell? Your healer is so strong, he can handle the level 10 field boss easily without injury. Zhang Wanqing shook her head lightly, and immediately said, you killed the giant mountain bear, and the equipment that exploded is naturally yours. Lu Chengqing nodded slightly. Anyway, he was just asking and going through the motions, and immediately cast his eyes on Zhang Wanqing. Collect money to do things. The mountain bear was slaughtered by him, so the spoils are naturally the same, and the reward in the transaction just now should belong to Lu Chengqing. No less than half a child. Naturally, Zhang Wanqing sensed Lu Chengqing's gaze, and with a strange expression on his face, he handed out the alliance card he had prepared in advance. She said in a helpless tone, this alliance card contains 800,000 yuan, which is your reward for helping this time. If you are worried about problems with the alliance card, just come to me directly. Welcome to come again next time. Lu Chengqing nodded slightly, put it in his pocket without stopping, and walked straight to the outside of the silent mountain. Zhang Wanqing twitched the corners of her mouth, hoping that something would happen to her, right? She looked at Lu Chengqing's back as she left. He glanced at the classmates who were making noise just now. Without any hesitation, she decisively followed in Lu Chengqing's footsteps. Compared with these teammates, she was more curious. It's the boy in front of him who defies common sense. Zhang Wanqing, who has a cold personality and is not good at communicating with strangers, said bluntly, Student Lu, are you already level 10? Lu Chengqing nodded slightly. He had a good impression of Zhang Wanqing, the most important thing was his generous hand. Proper little rich lady. Then, Lu, after you upgrade to level 10, the experience provided by wild beasts will probably decrease a lot. Regarding Lu Chengqing's attitude, Zhang Wanqing already had some understanding, and didn't care, and explained. If you still want to upgrade, you can only find other ways, such as dungeons or something. There will be a bronze level dungeon in 3 days, do you have any ideas? Zhang Wanqing decisively invited. This bronze level dungeon was opened by the family alone, and she came to Silent Mountain to level up this time. The purpose is to participate in the dungeon experience. If there is Lu Chengqing, maybe the difficulty of challenging the dungeon will be much lower, after all, the strength is obvious to all. She went on to explain. This dungeon was opened for me by the family alone, and the overall harvest is much more than those large public dungeons. The distribution of the specific harvest will be discussed later. Lu Chengqing glanced at the girl next to him. Could this kind of private dungeon happen to him somehow? Being a human being in 2 lives, Zhang Wanqing glanced at his thoughts and had a rough idea in his heart. It is estimated that the difficulty of the dungeon strategy is high. Looking for help. After thinking about it for a while, improving his strength is definitely the first priority. Since the other party invited him, he definitely couldn't miss it. Lu Chengqing nodded lightly and said, yes, how to distribute? Zhang Wanqing blinked her eyes. She never thought that Lu Chengqing would agree so simply, talk about something. There is a trick. Most of these small-scale dungeons are teamed up with 3 people. Apart from myself and Lu Changqing, my best friend Qianchen also needs to participate. She tentatively asked. 37 can. Quote. Lu Changqing frowned after hearing the words, and asked in a puzzled tone, why is it only 70%, then I won't be a beggar on my knees. Zhang Wanqing. Chapter 10. Bronze Level Dungeon, Hidden Professional. After hearing Lu Changqing's words, Zhang Wanqing managed to maintain a cool image, her eyelids twitched wildly. But, thinking of the strength Lu Changqing showed just now, she said in a helpless tone, at most 40%, there is a friend who wants to participate. Hidden profession, Spirit Sword Master, the strength is very good. Quote. Lu Changqing nodded slightly after hearing the words. If 3 people teamed up to brush the dungeon, the 40% is quite reasonable. After leaving Silent Mountain, he sold those more valuable materials and did not continue to stay in the suburbs. Returned to the city by intercity train. On the way back to the rental house, he still didn't forget to evaluate his own abilities. He had just awakened to a level 1 profession. The space coverage of Room Slaughterhouse is only 10 meters in diameter. With the improvement of one's own level, after reaching level 10, the diameter of the special space has already reached 100 meters. The item manipulation of the baton is more abstract. Manipulate the weight of objects. Based on your current physical strength, even huge objects can be manipulated. But it's a question of how long. In the next 3 days, Lu Changqing did not go out to level up and improve his strength, just as Zhang Wanqing said. After upgrading to level 10, go to the Silent Mountain to brush monsters to upgrade the level, and the experience that ordinary beasts can get will be greatly reduced. You can only go deep into the mountains, but it is very likely to encounter 20 or even 30 level beasts, which is not safe. Compared to earnings, whether it's experience or loot, it's much higher to go to the dungeon to practice, and the public dungeon is basically searched. A small private copy is Lu Changqing's first choice. On the outskirts of Zhongcheng, Valley of Trials. Except for those professionals who participated in the dungeon trials like a stream, there was a group of people who especially attracted attention. After all, the middle-aged man in the lead is Zhongcheng's city advocate Tianqi, a platinum level 49 battle master. There were also many professionals accompanying him, who obviously carried the aura of a superior, and looked at Zhang Tianqi with compliments on their faces. Besides, there was also the vice president of Zhongnan Vocational College, who stood beside Zhang Tianqi, with an indifferent face, and did not join the conversation. Instead, he turned his attention to Zhang Wanqing and the girl beside her, who did not have Zhang Wanqing's cold temperament. The figure is quite small and cute. Like a lowly girl walking out of the 2-dimensional world, she is Zhang Wanqing's best friend. Lin Qianchen. In addition to the defensive protective gear she wears with her, she also carries an expensive weapon in her hand, and she has a soft and cute image. There is a big contrast. Quote. Lin Qianchen blinked and asked, Wanqing, when is that friend of yours coming? It should be soon. In front of her girlfriends, Zhang Wanqing didn't have that indifferent face, and there was a rare smile on her exquisite face. She still didn't forget to tell. The dungeon of Fireland Island has not been opened for a long time. After entering, you can't be as impulsive as last time. I know. On Lin Qianchen's fair face, there was a cute smile, and her bright eyes were full of anticipation. She is also curious. What kind of boy is it that makes his best friend Zhang Wanqing use several outrageous words to describe him in a row? Wanqing, where's your friend? After Zhang Tianqi finished greeting with the others, he came to his daughter's side. His old-fashioned face was full of pampering. He glanced at the time and said, it's almost 9 o'clock, and we are going to open the copy. I'll make a call. Zhang Wanqing nodded slightly, and just wanted to contact Lu Changqing, but found that there was no contact information at all. Only, at this moment, the figure that appeared not far in front of her made her eyes shine, and she was away from the agreed time. 1 minute left. In a sense, Lu Changqing is quite punctual. He came. Zhang Tianqi followed his daughter's line of sight and looked at Lu Changqing, who was walking slowly, only analyzing from the appearance. Very handsome. With full pissed off. He carried the sheathed long knife around his neck, holding both ends with both hands, and Lu Changqing's face was very strange. Definitely not those family children. More like Yeluzi. It's not too late, is it? With an indifferent smile on Lu Chengqing's face, he looked past the old-fashioned man and looked at Zhang Wanqing, who had a rather helpless expression. The phone alarm clock rang suddenly. No, you're pretty punctual. Zhang Wanqing listened to the piercing alarm. Her cold face was full of helplessness, only in front of Lu Chengqing. She couldn't lift any airs. And Zhang Tianqi was keenly aware of his daughter's strangeness, and no boy had ever shown a good face in front of her. Moment. Alarm bells were ringing in his heart. This boy's appearance was definitely the best he had ever seen, and he was also full of ruffian from the inside out. I'm afraid this kid is not a good person. Could it be that you want to give away your own cabbage? Zhang Tianqi coughed lightly, and interrupted. Wanqing, the three of you should make some preparations first. We are going to open the copy. Zhang Wanqing nodded slightly, glanced at Lin Qianqin, who was looking wary, and explained, this is my friend. Lu Chengqing. I can hardly be considered a healer. Hello. Lu Chengqing's face was calm, and he simply greeted him. Lin Qianqin blinked her eyes and said, Hi, my name is Lin Qianqin. I'm Wanqing's best friend. Occupation is Spirit Sword Master. After a brief acquaintance, Zhang Wanqing introduced the dungeon to be captured today, the bronze-ranked Fireland Island. It's not a public dungeon, but a private dungeon belonging to the Zhang family. The level is only bronze, suitable for novices to practice. The highest level 15 monsters will appear. Killing it may drop the precious material Fire Cloud Stone. As long as the dungeon boss is killed, the level can be cleared. Level of danger. If it is a single-player strategy, at least one must have the strength of bronze level 15, and the team will be much lower. After understanding the copy, Zhang Tianqi and others also completed the portal, and after the space channel was stabilized, they were able to enter. Wanqing, proceed carefully. An old father-like smile appeared on Zhang Tianqi's face. He was still very confident in his daughter's strength. The only thing to worry about. It's the kid Lu Chengqing. Let's go. Zhang Wanqing nodded slightly, and immediately pulled her best friend Lin Qianqin into the dungeon through the teleportation array. Followed by, it was Lu Chengqing, with an indifferent smile on his face, but he didn't know about his first exploration of the secret realm. Did it go well? Please like and subscribe.